Birds of Prey and the Emancipation Proclamation of Harley Quinn was directed by Kathy Yan and once again stars Margot Robbie as the titular character, who realizes a lot of people want to kill her. So she attempts to save herself by getting this diamond that Black Mask, played by Ewan McGregor, wants, but has ended up being pickpocketed by a young girl that Harley ends up protecting, as many other people want this diamond as well. While I had zero interest in this movie, at the same time I was rooting for it to be good. You see, the DC movies compared to the Marvel movies are actually more of a mixed bag compared to Marvel's rather consistent quality of films. First you have the great ones, the good, the meh, the bad, and then there's... So when a new movie comes out from DC and Warner Brothers, I get this sense of I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get out of it, and that's an exciting feeling. And this movie has so many good things going for it, but man, there's one big bad problem. But first, the good. Margot Robbie is one of the hardest working actresses today, and she is fantastic in this movie. Now, I haven't seen the movie I, Tonya, where she plays figure skater Tonya Harding, but there's a clip going around on the internet where it compares her performance to the actual event, and if you haven't seen it, she nails it. And compared to Suicide Squad, we actually get a chance to psychologically explore this rather cartoony character that is Harley Quinn. And there are a few moments that Robbie portrays that actually show some real vulnerability. As always, Ewan McGregor is a delight to watch in anything he does. And yet, I couldn't shake the feeling that this character needed somebody else to play. Maybe I'm the only person who thinks that. Nothing wrong with his performance by any means. It was just something I couldn't get out of my head. The fight scenes were really well done too, but I think what makes them so great is that not all of the fight scenes are over-choreographed. This movie is a follow-up to Suicide Squad, so the style of the film does bleed into this one, especially when Harley Quinn has her fight scenes because they can come off cartoony. But when Black Canary fights, it comes off much more rough, like a Street Fighter character. The cuts and the editing match to fit that tone, and it's a nice contrast between the character styles. It's a nice touch. The camera work, the editing, the performances, I legitimately liked it all. But man, the structure of the story hurts the whole thing. Fill up Act 1 with all the exposition, we have no time for Act 2! This is its biggest problem, because when Harley Quinn's needs and wants are portrayed on screen, they are so great. But those moments come very few and far in between, and we needed more of that. The movie should have focused way more time on the relationship between Harley and the young girl, because that's where the chunk of her character arc is coming from. But instead, the movie decides to focus a lot more time building the other characters up to pay off in the third act. That wouldn't normally be a problem if the film knew how to balance out Harley's act with the rest of the film. But it didn't. Even Harley's low point came from a character that we are told we're supposed to believe has a strong bond with her. But we only met this character 2 scenes before. Robbie's performance sells the moment, but the writing just left the whole moment feeling empty. It's a shame because this movie has so much potential to make it spectacular. Instead, it just comes off mediocre to me. But with that said, this film is clearly winning an audience, and the female demographic is sure to enjoy it. It's fun, it's silly, and while the message of empowerment comes off roughly executed, it doesn't make the message any less important. I guarantee a lot of women are going to walk out of this movie feeling like a badass and they can take on the world. Just don't go robbing any banks with a mallet. Okay?